This episode of Capes and Lunatic Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code SOUTHGATE to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
What about our Quasar podcast, The Quantum Zone?
And I'm visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
Wendell Vaughn, the first Earthman ever appointed protector of the universe, bonded to the energy-transforming quantum bands that are both weapons and symbols of his station, fighting an ongoing battle to defend all life in the universe from cosmic evil as Quasar. That's alright, we mixed it up a little bit. We're getting wild, we're getting crazy. It's episode 50!
Woohoo! Divisible by 10 and 5.
AARP! Woohoo!
If you guys are not watching this on YouTube, this is all in Prism. It's another special. It's Prism. It's embossed. There's a hologram on all of our faces.
It glows in the dark. It glows in the dark.
If you move if you tilt Matt Conan a certain way, he moves all lifelike in the light. Certain light. Yeah.
My beard disappears. It's great.
Anyway, who are we? I am Phil. Joining me, as always, the master of the Quantum Zone.
I am Will. Hey, everyone.
And over in Boston, live in holographics is...
Yeah, this is Matt. This is Matt. Matt Kona here to try to toss some... I don't have any insights. I'm just here to hang out with you guys.
Sounding
overlords.
Sounding good. You have a new mic or something? You sound really, like...
Thanks. Well, you know what? Hey. This is the first show that we've done where I went out and did a comedy show before I did it. So I'm all hyped up, you know?
Got the stage voice going. Yeah.
The vocals are, they're well honed, I guess.
So I yelled at this homeless guy. But yes, yeah. I listen back to our episodes when they post. So, if I hear something funny, I'll grab it for the podcast.
I like that.
Visiting nursing homes with bad intentions.
I love it.
It's good stuff.
I didn't see a lot of news. I mean, the big 50th episode, I didn't see much Quasar. But today I did pick up, first you'll be like, why are you mentioning this? Amazing Spider-Man 15. And what was it? Arcade is selling some tech to Kraven the Hunter, and he's selling him the generator, or whatever. Remember it? Did anybody read Civil War 2?
I did.
Yeah. I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Well, basically,
I read it in graphic novel form from the Boston Public Library outside the teen section, as you may know.
Basically, Captain Marvel thinks she comes up with this big idea about putting a impenetrable dome around the Earth, but meanwhile, it's just manipulation by the evil Captain America. But anyway, how did they finally get the shield to drop?
Quasar sacrificed herself or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
I forgot to bring the issue out with me, but I believe, Arcade's telling Kraven, he's like, oh yeah, this thing's basically impenetrable. He's like, it kept out Thor's, it kept out Captain Marvel's, it kept out this and that. He's like, unless someone has a spare pair of quantum bands handy, no one's getting to you.
Nice.
I was like, yeah, you tell it, yeah.
Right.
So current, it released today. So current Marvel comics are telling us the quantum bands are more powerful than Thor and Captain Marvel.
Yes.
No, we just need someone in the bands. Wendell.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't call it a comeback. We need So what was your favorite type of special cover? That was had something for the 50th issue or something when you were reading comics. Maybe it jacked up the price a buck or two. But, holograms, prisms.
Yeah, special covers back in the day.
Die cuts.
You might have to pay the whopping fee of $2 or $3 back in the day for the special covers.
I think one of the best ones that I saw was the Silver Surfer 50. They had the foil embossed surfer. He was silver. Yeah. That was pretty awesome. And then the Ghost Rider Glow in the Dark was very well done too. That was issue 12, I think, or something like that. 10? Mm-hmm. I can't remember.
There's been so many. I don't want to sound like I'm pandering, but Quasar 50 with the shiny background. Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense for his power set.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Didn't Fantastic Four have a die cut that with the 4? I think
they've had a couple. I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
When they kind of tease, it's like, hey, look, Mr. Fantastic's back from the dead. Oh, wait, no, it's not him.
Yeah. Psych.
Yes. The 90s were filled with them. Like, there was it Hulk 400. It was like, it kind of had that shiny background behind, like, the Hulk about to smash someone and, like.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't they do they kind of mocked that with Ren and Stimpy, and they had a scratch and sniff cover?
Yeah.
I think they did that. I can't remember for sure.
But I remember having a subscription to an Amazing Spider-Man, and I got some good issues. I think 365 was like the big hologram one. That was cool.
Every one that month had a hologram of Spider-Man. Yeah, the Amazing one. What was it? Web of Spider-Man 90.
Spectacular Spider-Man.
Spectacular. I forget the number, but yeah, all three that month had one of those holograms. Because it was like, what was it? Was it Spider-Man's 30th anniversary?
I think so. Yeah, that was on where the barcode was in a lot of the comics that year. Yeah.
We're over 50 now, right? Yeah.
I definitely traded that away, as well as the first appearance of Carnage and a bunch of stuff for some probably useless stuff. But
Carnage?
He just came out. It was cool. We used to play superheroes on the playground, and I would be Carnage, and there wasn't a way to kill him yet, so I had to run of the playground.
That's like, sure, you can have my first appearance of Carnage. You'll give me issue 1 of NFL Super Pro. Okay,
yeah, that's probably what it was. Something like that. Maybe Solo. I don't know. Maybe some Midnight Suns crossover, fully bagged with a card.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Stop it! You're making me nostalgic, man.
I know.
You can have my first appearance of Carnage. Give me your Death of Superman, because that it'll just go up in value.
Yeah. They only made a few of those, I think.
Hey, Phil. It says off air on mine.
My
Hangout. Are we off or on?
Mine says live.
Mine says live.
Yeah.
Oh, this must be my client then. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm getting all nostalgic for the 90s special covers now.
Yeah. All those X-Men holograms, some were black and didn't really reflect anything. The variants.
Oh yeah, you got to have 5 versions of X-Men #1.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was at least. Oh, that's nothing.
That came up in the interview where we were talking Captain Marvel on our little side.
Oh yeah,
show.
That's right.
Yeah.
I think aren't those still like the two best selling issues ever? Is X-Men #1 and Spider-Man #1?
Yeah,
I think so. I think X-Force is up there too. X-Force #1. With Liefeld.
Mm-hmm. I think that's close, but I thought X-Men and Spider-Man. I forget which was 1 and 2, but I think those two were like, because those two sold like $1 million, like over $1 million or something.
Yeah, it was. And hey, you know what? Alternate covers, cool. Let's overdo it.
Yeah, that happens a lot now. Yeah, variants every week.
Dark Knight 3 had like 50 variants. I think so. It was #1. Yeah. It was nuts.
Well, like Marvel, every time they put out a #1 now, it seems like they're doing at least 20 or 30 variants covers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There was a couple years back, they released a Justice League of America series. It was like all New 52 crap, but it's like they were holding a flag on the front of the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And they did like the main cover was the American flag, but you could also get, I think it was at least 50 variants for like each state flag.
Oh yeah, Marvel did that too with like the Avengers title, because Quasar got a cover. I bought
what?
Yeah, I'm trying.
He's the Avenger from Wisconsin, so
that's right.
It was what was that title? It wasn't Secret Avengers. It was.
I forget. I think I might have got it. I can't remember, but I'm trying to remember if I did order the because I know I wanted the Quasar cover. I'm trying to remember if I got it.
And then I ordered the Tiger one. I mean, I got the Tiger one because somehow she was associated with Arkansas. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some that were just like, they've never been there. They just needed someone from the, Oh, I wonder why you got Tiger, Will.
That's totally it.
Nighttime activities.
Yeah, it was Arkansas, dang it.
Arkansas, they're like hairy ladies in bikinis.
Exactly.
I mean, the last 2 letters of Tigra's name are the postal abbreviation of Arkansas reversed, so I can see
go. Perfect
connection.
Okay,
But the Quasar one was pretty cool. I think they reused like Andy Smith art, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, it was like all shiny and sparkly.
Sparkly quantum tentacles.
Nice.
But yeah, you throw a rock in the 90s, you hit some kind of like hologram or foil cover.
Yeah. Die cut, foil, glow in the dark. I wonder if they could combine all of those into one cover.
And then there was I remember there was like a red foil cover for West Coast or Avengers West Coast 100 when they supposedly killed Mockingbird.
Yeah.
Although years later it turned out to be a Skrull.
Mm-hmm. Who knew?
Fooled you, Mephisto!
All right, sorry.
All right, so should we jump into this issue?
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
All right. Remember where we were last time? Granny Staples was endangered. So we pick up with the Avengers outside her house in Pediments of Clay.
They'll play on words.
Yes. Script Larry Hama. Breakdowns. Paul Ryan. Our buddy Paul Ryan. Finishes Tom Palmer. Coloring Christy Sheeby. Lettering Bill Oakley. Editor Howard Mackey. Editor-in-Chief Tom DeFalco. All right. So first page. Open the cover. Lego ad. All right. To say, but they're giving you the recap. Basically, like two boxes of recap to get you from 326 to here. Okay.
Yeah.
To save a Soviet hero, the Avengers open the gateway to another dimension, inadvertently releasing the evil Nigh the Unspeakable and his cohorts from the exile imposed upon them by the Tetrarchs of Entropy. The action takes place up in Brooklyn.
Where's Brooklyn at?
I don't know. Is that like in California or something?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, Brooklyn. We see Rage yelling, "You let my granny go, or I'll come in there and rip those scales right off your ugly face." As Quasar says, "You tell him, Rage." And we'll see what kind of variations we get on Quasar's costume this episode. So then we turn and we see Nye and all his demons hanging off Granny's house as the whole neighborhood's watching.
Yeah, quite a scene. It's like a big block party.
You ignorant fool! The whole point of my taking your precious Granny hostage was to turn you into my agent inside the Avengers. And Rage says, "I figured as much, but my Granny taught me never to make any sort of deal with your kind." And you see Granny saying, "I broke that boy up good." And I see one of the neighborhood kids saying, "Wow, Black Widow, Vision, Quasar, and She-Hulk right on our block. And check out what's coming out of old nerdy Elvin's house." I haven't seen, it's like I haven't seen it in a while. I just seen this like big black guy. Was that his grandma's boyfriend or something?
Quasar getting some recognition in the streets right away.
I know.
That's good.
I love how no one recognizes him until he wears a mask. Now everyone recognizes him.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's all about branding. All right. So Nye says, "I also warned you about telling your fellow Avengers anything about this." And of course, Granny once again, "Don't you pay this one no mind. He's the Prince of Liars." And Nye, "Now your Granny is going to suffer for your disobedience." As Rage says, "You lay one claw on her," and Nye says, "Oh, nothing so crude as physical pain. What do you think I am?" And he says, "Come out here, LD50, and bring your crew."
And bring your big words.
That's right. I was thinking, does LD50 look like or remind anyone of Prince?
I was going to say Michael Jackson in Thriller.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting was Michael Jackson in Thriller, yeah.
He almost look, well, now, yeah, because he's been, mutated. But, no, just the clothes. Yeah, the clothes could be like Michael Jackson, but before he got mutated, he almost reminded me of Prince.
Yeah, the lyrics of Prince are more, intellectual than Michael Jackson. He uses a lot of big words, so, okay, makes sense.
Purple night, purple night.
I hope he didn't find his Granny doing something with the magazine, but that's a Prince song. I don't know. Writers covered it.
What song was that? Doing something with a magazine?
Lisa, I think. What's that one? I'll look it up. It's not important.
I know. So Nye brings out LD50. Says, "Not too long ago, these were your neighborhood drug dealers. Now they've given themselves over to a thoroughly superior sort of evil. Now they are mine, as Granny Staples will soon be. And She-Hulk yells, "You're not going to own anything anymore. Nah, you're going back to the dimension of exile, where you belong." So, what's scarier than a demon? A lawyer.
Exactly.
Darling Nikki. Darling Nikki? That's a Prince song.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, that sounds familiar. I like his, he did the, soundtrack for the first, Michael Keaton Batman.
Yeah, do the bat dance. Unforgettable.
Yeah! You ever dance with the Devil in the Pale Moonlight? So Nye and his guys all start laughing at the lawyer's threat. And who's going to make me? You and what army? As
if on cue.
Here come the Tetrarchs. What are piddling armies to the Tetrarchs of Entropy? The combined legions of entire planetary systems tremble before us. Braggart. As one of the neighborhood kids yells, "Those dudes are raging."
Oh my.
1991. How I miss you. And the other one says, "I saw them on TV. They were the ones who zapped the Avengers into another dimension." As the other kid says, "Oh, they're just going to make them disappear. We don't get to see a fight." As Nye goes, "Ha! You really think those charlatans are forces of the universe? They're simply interdimensional delusionary maniacs. I, Nye the Unspeakable, am a true focal point through which powerful and undeniable elemental forces move." Too much chili. "The Tetrarchs tricked me and sent me to that horrible place where I was powerless, but now I grow stronger every moment because the base of my power is evil, and there is plenty of that commodity in this town."
You didn't say it right, Phil. Evil.
Evil. $1 million. So have it to be Tetrarchs and do your worst. And when the kid says, "Looks like we get to see a major throwdown after all, Melvin." And then he says, "Cut out the talking and kick butt." So on one block you have Elvin, you have Melvin.
Where's Kelvin? That's a name?
Exactly.
And a measurement?
Not in this country.
Yeah.
And I love Nye just like talking smack on his own people. "Attack my uglies. Show them the power of evil for its own sake."
That looks like a purple Fin Fang Foom almost.
Yeah.
Bump them back uptown. Bump them, my uglies.
Yeah. It looks like Sasquatch from or the Alpha Flights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gone Bad.
There's a couple look like they'll be. There's like that one on the left there looks like he could be like Sasquatch and like Jay Leno's baby.
Yeah. Yes, big chin.
Thank you. So they leap at the Avengers, and She-Hulk says, "These creatures are bigger and stronger than when we fought them in that other dimension." And Vision says, "Nye's powers were restored when he passed into our dimension, and it appears that he can augment them by feeding off actual evil." And She-Hulk says, "At least now we've got the Tetrarchs on our side, Vision." And Rage yells at the neighborhood kids, "You kids get away from here before one of you gets hurt. Melvin, get the little ones out of here." And Melvin says, "How do you know my name?" He's going to know your name he's going to remember yours other than anyone else's. You
exactly
rhyme with it. And then we see Jay Leno baby smack Rage over the head with a club and say, "Compassion for others is weakness." Whap. All right. And watching the battle from the safety of the at Avengers headquarters, Captain America with the support staff. "Status report. All situation monitors report. I want complete updates." And Peggy tells Cap the Avengers in Brooklyn are hard-pressed, Captain America. Even with the aid of the Tetrarchs, this Nye is proving to be a powerful foe. And Cap says, "What about Cersei and Thor?" "Hell yeah, we haven't seen them, huh? Are they back yet?" "Not a word from them. Shall I send out the call for the reserve Avengers?" And Cap says, "Not yet. We still haven't." And then, who's that? Is that John Jameson? "Captain, we have an answer to our blanket query about the Tetrarchs. I'll bring it up on this monitor." Cameo appearance. I'm surprised I didn't mention it on the cover. Cap, Doctor Strange. Nye just let it slip that the Tetrarchs may not be what they claim to be. Could this be true? If they aren't really elemental forces, we may have a chance against them if they turn on us. And Doctor Strange, I have leafed through all my mystical tomes and consulted sages on other astral planes. Nowhere is there a mention of the Tetrarchs, nor a glimmer of recognition from all I asked. They may very well be simply extremely powerful entities with overblown egos.
They lied on their resume.
I just love it's like, oh, they could just be extremely powerful beings with overblown egos. Yes, they could just be powerful figures with delusions of grandeur.
That's right.
Meanwhile, back at the battle, the Tetrarchs attempt to blast Nye, but he blocks it. That energy blast was puny, Yod. As the Snake One says, "You'll not mock after I wrap you in the coils of infinity." And Nye says, "You're not wrapping anybody, Vug. You're taking a fast trip to a brick wall." As he blasts into a brick wall. And is that Melvin says, "Ooh, that dude is bad." And another kid says, "Yeah, he's stronger than all them Avengers."
Yeah, come on.
As Nye says, "Here's the source of my power. These little minds that are impressed with the power of evil who worship it, even unknowingly on YouTube. No, even unknowingly. And as my power grows, they are even more impressed, and the cycle continues." And Black Widow zapping some. We're barely holding our own, She-Hulk. We can't keep this up much longer. And She-Hulk, we have to hold out. Black Widow, Thor, and Cersei aren't back yet.
What?
Huh? Where could they be?
Everyone's wondering about them.
Where could they be? And Quasar looks like he's throwing a bubble around one of the creatures' heads. We're all reaching the limits of our endurance, and these creatures just get stronger. I wish we had an Avenger here who could just zap them to another dimension. A completely empty dimension.
Maybe jump there?
That's
somehow?
Named after this podcast.
The Blood Brothers are hanging out there. They could use some company. Come on,
No, they're still chilling on the moon, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. He hasn't even zapped. Well, I should. Spoiler.
Okay, we'll get there.
He hasn't zapped anyone there yet. It's completely empty. These creatures, and so Rage is asking, why don't the Tetrarchs just zap these guys away? Or someone else? And Quasar says, good question. How about it, Yod? Why aren't you sending Nye and his crew back to that other dimension? As Yod says, do not dare to question the ways of the Tetrarchs, insignificant mortal, or we shall banish your entire pitiful planet to the dimension of exile before we finish dealing with Nye. And Cap says, so they were planning to double cross us right from the start. Those dirty so-and-sos.
Someone else says that. Cap would never use language like a so-and-so.
A so-and-so, yeah.
I know. So here's my question. So he's like, don't make us zap the Earth to the dimension and then deal with Nye. Well, if you zap the entire planet to the dimension of exile, wouldn't that deal with Nye? Isn't that where you want him?
Yeah.
I kind of think, yeah.
Extremely powerful, not too bright. Meanwhile, in the dimension of exile, we answer the question, where's Thor and Cersei? As they're flying through, Cersei says, it has to be here, Thor. Nothing else would make any sense. And he says, we have circled this world 12 times, Cersei, and thou hast sensed it not. And Cersei says, it is hidden, Thunder God, but it surely must be here, because anywhere else would stand in defiance to the balance of the cosmos. There. And Thor says, this Cyclopean megalith. And she says, it is trapped inside. Stand ye back, Cersei, for to free what is imprisoned within, as he raises the hammer over his head. I must cleave the mountain in two with a giant thoom. And as they come to the ground, look, there's something about them that makes me feel good. Oh, really, Cersei? As we see an old woman and like a little winged figure come out. There's something about them that makes me feel good.
Boston makes me feel good. He
the 90s. Nice. The old lady says, thank you. We thank you deeply. It has been 10,000 years since the so-called Tetrarchs sealed us away in that rock. But now we are free at last. And speaking of structures that have stood for 10,000 years in Brooklyn, Nye's glowing and says, behold, am I not grown magnificent?
Talk about ego. Maybe we get the Tetrarchs. They're obviously egomaniacs. They got
He's
Nye.
using with evil.
Yeah.
Nye's all on like evil Viagra. Rage says, and you know it's Rage because his name is on the back of his jacket and his vest. So you're getting bigger, big deal. It's about time someone cut you down the size. As his granny in the clutches of Nye says, "You give him a good licking, Elvin." No, I'm gonna punch him, Granny Staples. And Nye gives him a backhand and smacks Rage away with a whap. As he says, "Did you think pure muscle power could stand up to absolute evil?" And sends Rage flying into a bus with a ka-thump. And Rage points at the crowd and says, "You three, impressed with my power, were you not?" And I guess that's the bus driver, because he says, and he says, but fear and repulsion stand in the way. That is easily remedied with loads of filthy lucre." As suddenly each of the three guys, just like a big bag of money appears to each of them. Sacks of money, $100 bills. There must be tens of thousands of dollars here. And Nye says, "You want luck at cards, a more fulfilling love life?" Who is this? Nye the Unspeakable or like an infomercial? "Do you want money? Do you want luck in love? I fix you ever up. Anything you want, I'll fix you right up, see? All you have to do is forget all that sissy being good nonsense and just let your own evil nature take over."
Oh, that's why bus drivers won't open the door even if you're banging on it and they're at a red light. Nye bribed them.
Should have got up earlier, Parker. See, my dad used to be a bus driver. Nye, why couldn't you could offer us some money, man?
It's the root of all evil, so he's got an unlimited budget, right?
We could be podcasting the 50th episode for my 50,000 square foot mansion. Come on. And as Nye says that, the guys are starting mutating as they're like, we're rich, we're loaded. And as Rage peels the bus off him, he says, "Was that your best shot, Nye? You just wait till I peel off this bus." And the guys are continuing to mutate. "It's all cash. We don't have to pay taxes on it." Because again, I mean, what's scarier than demons, lawyers, and the IRS?
Right.
Yeah, and this podcast is being taped in tax season, so there you go.
And hey, I filed. It's already in. Just waiting for my refund. This is the bus driver. "We can spend it all on ourselves." And the other guy, "We can buy useless, expensive baubles simply to make our neighbors jealous."
Nice.
I love at least he's coherent enough. He's like, I'm going to buy something useless and expensive.
Just to impress the neighbors.
Nice. "See what they've become? That's what I'm going to do to your granny." I love this part. As Rage just strides through the rest of the Avengers battling the demons. "I don't think you can change a single hair on Granny's head, Nye. Somehow you feed off the energy released by people's submission to the evil within themselves, and the power you receive you use to ply your victims with more temptations, and the power grows like a runaway chain reaction. But you don't have any power over Granny Staples. I spent most of my life with her, so I know for a fact she doesn't have an evil bone in her body. That's why she doesn't have any friends."
Oh, man. What is up with that?
Come on. No, she doesn't have any evil in her. But I just love, she has no evil in her. She's no fun. That's why she has no friends.
Nice.
So Rage says, "So you better let her go before What's that?" As we see a flash of light as a portal opens. Rage turns and says, "Circe and Thor and Circe, we have returned from the dimension of exile, and we bring a friend."
And then Rage is like, "See, Grandma, other people have friends. She's old. Maybe you have something to talk about."
She's like, "You don't think that's Circe's evil? Look at that costume." And the old lady they bring back with her says, "Nye's lying to you, for that is his way. He holds no dominion over anything that is good. I do. I am AHH. That's right.
That's the opposite of Nye.
Oh, yes.
Let's see if I can get through this. All right. I am and Nye remembers me dimly, though he would rather forget. Just as Nye is the focal point for the channeling of pure evil, I am the counterpart, channeling pure good. We are the counterweights of a great balance. No more, and Nye says, no more Nye is in his ascension. The scale is tipped in my favor. And she says, you are a silly thing, Nye, and so forgetful, as is the very nature of evil. As she waves her hand and restores the three who had the money. These poor creatures have a good side as well as a bad side. Given a chance, they can shine with charity and compassion. As she says, they still have the need to reach out to help. They still have the need to reach out to help that stranger. They are all the little kindnesses that are forgotten, the favors done with no thought of restitution. As she starts taking off her fur hooded cape as she starts to get younger and hotter. The promise is kept, though the keeping of them was painful and costly. These are all the increments of my power, and it is no less than yours, Nye. And she starts. I love how she got younger, but her hair went from brown to silver as she got younger.
Yeah,
Silver Sable
selling books. Come on,
I know she looks younger. Yeah, she looks like Silver Sable or like Dagger or somebody. Yeah. She's like dressed all in white. And my power transfigures me, just as your power transmutes you. And they're both facing each other, and they're all towering over everyone. They're like both giants now. As you see a Quinjet come flying in. Do you recognize me now in this form, Nye? Do you remember the truth that you have hidden even from yourself? And he says, no, what are you blathering on about? What truth? Is this some ruse to get me off guard? And she says, you don't remember it all, do you? It is time to give it up. The great experiment is over, as Cap pilots the Quinjet in. The hog all the glory. She says, as long as we stay separated, upstarts like the Tetrarchs can overcome us and lock us away. Besides, the experiment was not a complete success, since you retained a residue of good in Za, and I retained the residue of evil in this little winged one. They would get a name.
Yeah. They've just been hanging around. We haven't seen anything done by the good winged one, and now we see an old bad winged one.
I know. It's just like you retained something good in your little, winged Zon. I used to have some bad in this little winged douchebagger. Get a name. Nye says, I remember it was so long ago. And she said, the experience was well worth it, even the 10,000 years of imprisonment, but now it is time for other things. He says, yes, this phase of our existence is over. And as she says, it is time. And he says, to be one again, as they walk towards each other and merge. Cersei, they are blending together. And Vision says, this was an entity who decided to split itself into its wholly evil and good sides. And again, now we see I don't know, almost dressed like a priest or something. It looks like an old white guy.
Real long eyebrows.
It's the 90s. It's Ross Perot. He says, it was something I had to do, but now I have done it. It was unfortunate that I did not foresee how the Tetrarchs would take advantage of my lessened powers. But that is a situation that shall not repeat itself. As he blasts from something on his forehead, looks like a cheap
third eye, all-seeing eye.
Looks like it looks like a cheap eye of Agamotto. He says, I certainly cannot permit the Tetrarchs of Entropy to play with dimensional doorways in the future, the past, or any side branch of the time stream. Those darn kids, can't leave them alone for 2 seconds. As he blasts the pyramid one, and it yells, Arg! And he says, I'm nullifying your ability to pass between the realities. The Tetrarchs are out of the banishing business for good. And he says, entropy indeed. How could the universes that are expanding be slipping towards chaos? Things are flying away from each other at greater speeds. At greater speeds are acquiring order of a sort, at least in this reality. And then we see the former demons who say, what about us? Universes are beyond our scale of comprehension. What is to become of us? We who were the thralls of Nye and are now reverting to our true forms. Because the guy talking looks like an old Skrull.
Yeah.
Looks like there's a Kree soldier there, and there's a bunch of alien-looking dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Skrull says, Nye made promises to us, and Nye is a part of you. Some of us are from distant galaxies, other realities, or far-flung times. Are we to be abandoned? And this new entity says, the good side of me feels compassion for your plight, but the rational side knows restitution would be impractical. So he has a good side and a rational side. He says, besides, I have much more important high-profile things to do, such as saving entire civilizations and basking in the praise as he flies up. And even Black Widow says, I find it amusing that he claimed compassion for his good side, but his selfish abandonment of Nye's crew was laid to rationality. And Vision says, what is so amusing? Is not all evil rationalized by logic? And that's when She-Hulk says, speaking of which, what was that remark about banishing our entire planet? Get all in the Tetrarchs' faces now that they can't banish anybody. And Quasar, these Tetrarchs aren't forces of the universe. They're just deluded individuals, but with power aplenty without the dimensional warping ability. As Quasar says, power that must be contained as he bubbles them up.
Finally!
They could charge. Do it, Wendell.
That's what I'm saying. Who takes down the Tetrarch? Cap showed up, but guess who takes charge? Wendell.
Uh-huh.
And as he bubbles them up and he pulls them down, he says, Thor, would you be so kind to open the dimensional door gateway? And he says, if fair Circe wouldst modulate. And she says, with pleasure, gentle sirs. And Quasar with a nice fastball says, okay, then it's back to the dimension of exile for these four until they mellow out a bit. And they say, arg, no, not that. And the portal's closing. Here's my question. So did Quasar drop the bubble once they got into the dimension, or are they banished to the dimension of exile in a bubble?
That would be cool. Knowing Wendell, he probably put a timer on it, like it's going to dissolve in an hour or something, yeah.
But that would just be funny if they were like banished to this backwater dimension in a bubble.
Just stuck.
It'd just be like, okay, we're in the middle of the Sahara Desert, trapped in a fish tank. And I love Caps just standing there now. Those Tetrarchs of Entropy weren't so tough after all.
Oh, come on, man.
What did you do? You were sitting in the mansion. You showed up once the good and bad sides merged. You did nothing. You didn't even bark an order. Quasar did it.
Yeah. He is way, and he's like, it's the end of the New Warriors 1. And the Avengers Cap just shows up at the end and takes credit for it all. Remember that?
Yeah. Captain Ego. And but at least She-Hulk says, nice throw, Quasar. And he said, it's all in the release,
Yes.
And then we see the old Skrull again say, what are we to do? Reduced to our former powerless selves and stranded on this ugly backwater planet?
Whoa, come on.
And then we see LD50 in a alleyway say, psst, you there, you former cohorts of the recently transformed and departed Nye. He's whispering, but meanwhile the Skrull says, it's that drug dealer, LD50. What do you want, you loathsome creature? And LD says, you are displaced interdimensional criminals without a leader or organization. I am a criminal entrepreneur in need of loyal and resourceful followers. Perhaps this is Kismet?
Finally a big word. He's been,
Yeah. Well, he was transformed.
True.
But it's so funny because, I don't think we ever pay this off. So it's and the Skrull said they're powerless. So I'm assuming the Skrull can't transform. So if you go to Brooklyn to this day, or is there an old Skrull standing on the corner selling drugs, or $50? I show you a good time. I don't know. But anyway, but meanwhile, Granny Staples is complaining, shit, look at this mess. If that wasn't the devil, then he sure made a devil of a mess out of my nice clean yard. And Rage says, don't fret, Granny, the Avengers will help clean it up. I love he just volunteers.
Yeah, he's the furthest from active Avenger.
Granny, guess what? They just gave me a communicard with access to an unlimited bank account. And Granny looks at him and says, another thing, how come you're all dressed up like a hoodlum? I certainly hope none of the church ladies saw you all done up like that. And he says, this is my costume, Granny. I'm a superhero now. Can we talk about this some other time, or at least not at this volume? And she goes, costume? It's not Halloween. Why are you wearing a mask? You got something to be ashamed of? I certainly hope not. You living under my roof and all. Only hoodlums wear masks, Elvin, as we see Captain America in the same panel.
And Quasar's wearing a mask.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, Captain America's just standing right there like, hey, clean up your yard, too. Come on. He says, shh, Granny, please. No one's supposed to know who I really am. Can we not be doing this in front of the Avengers? She says, don't you be shushing me, young man. It's because you got your size a bit soon doesn't give you a call to be disrespectful. Stop rolling your eyes and pay attention. You can have plenty of time to be with your new friends when I get finished talking to you. I'll give you time to play with them. We'll even send you some cupcakes.
Oh, God.
Only one or two more episodes. We'll pay that joke off. Okay, and I want to know, this reporter... Okay, because the reporter and her cameraman see this going on nearby and think Granny's chewing out one of the newest Avengers because the cameraman says, hey, Fanny, check out this scene between Rage and that little old lady. Should I roll tape on that? Might be some interesting footage there. And even, to make it even worse, the reporter's Fanny says, forget him. I want some shots of Thor and Cersei to back up a studio shot of me explaining how they opened the dimensional warp. And so I love the last page. It says later, and I'm guessing it's only a few minutes later. Because the reporter's talking to Thor and Cersei, but you see Quasar standing there. I'm just waiting for Quasar to be like, hey, who defeated the bad guys? I sent the Tetrarchs away, and meanwhile the thing Nye became just like flew off. We never pay that off either.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this. Think about how many like dimensional beings are just floating out there we never see again. Like, remember the crossing line? The Russians became like the butt buddies, and they took off to like other dimensional planes we never see them.
They're all in the Strangers Lab world right now.
Nine, the old lady combined. We never even get a name for that combined thing, and that just flies off.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, like I said, later the reporter's talking to Thor and Cersei. We join them in the middle of the conversation. She says, you mean the process by which you and Cersei affect dimensional travel is classified as secret by the Avengers? Thor says, nay, 'tis no secret, though. Nay, you just can't understand my Asgardian speak. Nay, 'tis no secret. The way and the manner doth be too arcane, too inexplicable to mortals. Suffice to say, see, this is like the end of a storyline, but we're getting kind of a cliffhanger to start the next one. Suffice to say that the way hath been known to Avengers for many years and hast been dubbed Plan D. I'm sure, and I'm thinking Cersei chimes in. I'm sure the actual mechanics of how it works would not be of interest to your viewers. Oh, not so. Last panel. There's one viewer who says, but it would be of prime interest to me. As next issue box, if you didn't know who it was, the next issue box gives you his name, Dr. Doom.
I wonder how he gets Brooklyn local news in Laturvia.
Satellite dish.
True. They had those then? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, he has so many. He has Doom bots and so many different devices to, battle that meddling Reed Richards. Of course, he has a satellite dish. Come on.
That's it.
They have DirecTV and BlackBerry, all right? But yes, next two episodes we're gonna have Dr. Doom
and cupcakes
and another Avengers party.
Yeah, Dr. Doom finally a big name villain everyone can recognize.
Oh yeah, because the second part of that two-parter will be our episode 52, our 1 year mark.
Yeah.
And then we will start on a I shouldn't say this because it's Marvel, but we'll start on our next or our new 52.
Yeah.
All right.
And it might be snowy then, so we'll podcast live from our 52 skidoo.
But
it's a Silver Surfer one. Just like the jet ski.
I mean, this issue didn't have like a special cover, but I mean, if anything screams 90s, it's like we didn't get a letters page, but we got an ad for a little story in Marvel Comics Presents Weapon X.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah. A story in 13 chapters.
Yeah, Marvel Comics Presents was bi-monthly. It came out every 2 weeks, right? And yeah, that was pretty awesome.
By Barry Windsor Smith.
Yeah.
Begins issue 72. So yeah, Weapon. If that doesn't scream 90s, I don't know what. Anything Wolverine screams 90s, but Weapon X. Just wait another, 10, 15 years. We'll give you the origin of Wolverine. All right. So anything else for this issue, gentlemen?
No. I don't think so.
Any final thoughts? Quasar for the win. That's all I gotta say. Quasar for the win.
Yeah, we got a lot of cool action shots of Quasar. He had a lot of dialogue. You felt he was a very important member of the team, even
on the cover.
Noticed by neighborhood kids. Yeah, nice section of the cover. Trying to fit his head into the box on the side. Yeah, pretty close to it. But,
again, we still got Iron Man in a cover box. Iron Man is not in this issue.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
But, hey, he had a consistent costume this issue. That's
yes, he did. They're learning.
Somebody got slapped around in the locker room.
No, I liked it. It put a bow on the story, and it leads up to some new interesting things. Keeps you hooked.
Yeah, so we have a two-parter with Doctor Doom, and then 6-parter with, is it the Collection Obsession?
Collection Obsession, yeah.
And the secret of what is it that what are those? What's that group called? I know they're the people in like the armor and stuff. It was a Thane Ektar and his.
Oh yeah. What was their name?
I got him right here. Hold on. Yeah, I know the guy's name's Thane Ektar. Oh, the Brethren. Yeah, the Brethren.
The Brethren of Evil Mutants.
And they have a dirty secret, literally.
It's been a long time since I've read those issues. I'm going to have to reread them.
Yeah. I just reread them not too long ago. Yeah, their origin. They have a literally dirty secret. So, all right. So, should we get out of here? Sounds good to me. So yeah, still trucking along with our Avengers issues. Next issue 332, and then the episode after that 333. Like we said, 2-parter with Doctor Doom. Victor. And another Avengers party. We just had one in 325. Now we're getting one in 332. It's Party Central. Basically, grand opening of the new Avengers mansion. Yeah, and you'll see some celebrity guests. I just hope Clark Kent shows up again. That'd be sad. It'll be sad. I think I believe George Herbert Walker Bush shows up. I believe. Oh, because it is 1991. That is true. All right, so let's get out of here. Get through these Avengers issues, then we can get the Cosmos. Cosmos, yes. Bar none, the best cosmic story Marvel has ever told. And, like I said, we're only 2 episodes away from our 1-year anniversary, so everyone, send us your thoughts. And send us, what's been your favorite moment from the past year? Mm-hmm. Is it Matt's stories of the Boston Public Library teen section? Is it when Matt Kona got fan mail from male prisoners? Oh yeah, I found some. I'll read one or two. Oh, that's like a 1-year anniversary celebration. Yeah, special edition. We'll read prison mail and fan mail. So something tells me there's going to be some more good drops there. I'm going to a men's prison with bad intentions. All right. He takes a lot of slack. He takes a lot here. But Matt Kona, where can people send you fan mail? You could send me fan mail. Just send me a DM and I'll give you my address. Or you can find me at Matt Kona, MatTKona. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the like. You can find my podcast that I did with my wife, where we talked about horror movies. If you like those, yell Matt recap stuff. And yeah, talk to me about anything. I'm real. I got a lot of time on my hands until I go back to doing tours in March. So all around. All right, and Will, Master of the Quantum Zone, that you created 10,000 years ago. Where can people Find you in your work.
It's 10,001 years ago. Okay, sorry. You can find me at Walred. That's WALLRED. Facebook, Twitter, Gmail. And you can find the Quantum Zone, of course, at quantumzone.org. And you can find my self-published book, Diary of Night, at diaryofnight.com.
Cool. And I said to everyone, send in your favorite moments, but I didn't tell you where. Email us, capesandlunatics at gmail.com, facebook.com/quantumzonepod, at quantumzonepod on Twitter. You can also get us at CL Sidekicks. On Instagram, CL Sidekicks for all our stuff. And the voicemail. That's right, just hit a voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. Socian, are you still out there? You can send us a top 5 of your, best moments of the past year, Socian. Come on. Or Robert, send us. I haven't heard from Robert in a while. Come on. All right. Or heck, Charlie Esther, I think you've been listening. Send us your... Especially next episode, Dr. Doom. Doesn't get bigger than Doom.
And cupcakes. I blocked some of these issues. I'm sorry.
Again, I think we mentioned it, but we might have to have a cupcake each, for our 1 year birthday. Smeared all over our faces. 1 year.
Hard to believe. It's been fun.
My son's 6th birthday is coming up soon.
Mine are a lot older than.
I was going to say, Will's like, they got bigger than me. I got afraid and kicked them out of the house.
Exactly. Nope, they moved out. Well, one of them moved back because school, but whatever.
Will bubbled them up and threw them and exiled them.
Threw them and left them in the bubble. No.
All right, Quantum Zoners, join us next time for another big party. And remember, keep quantum.